A billionaire's wife tried to skip the line at my boutique, sneering, "I could buy this whole store. Step aside." When I refused, she threw a fit and demanded to speak to the owner. I smiled and said, "You already are." She stared in horror as I banned her from every branch worldwide. I own a boutique in Manhattan's Upper East Side. It's a cozy, upscale shop known for its curated selection of high-end fashion pieces. Over the years, we've built a loyal clientele who appreciate our personalized service and unique offerings. One brisk autumn afternoon, the boutique was lively with regular patrons browsing the latest arrivals. The scent of freshly brewed espresso filled the air. I was at the register, assisting a long-time customer, when the door swung open. In walked a woman who exuded an air of entitlement. She was impeccably dressed in designer labels from head to toe, her jewelry glinting under the boutique's soft lighting. Her perfectly coiffed hair and manicured nails spoke of wealth and privilege. Behind her trailed a personal assistant, juggling several shopping bags from other high-end stores. As she made her way through the boutique, she barely glanced at the other shoppers, her eyes scanning the merchandise with a critical gaze. She selected a few items, handing them off to her assistant without a word. When she approached the fitting rooms, there was a short line of customers waiting their turn. Without hesitation, she bypassed the line and headed straight for an empty fitting room. I noticed the murmurs among the customers and decided to intervene. "Excuse me, ma'am," I said gently, approaching her. "There's a line for the fitting rooms. Would you mind waiting your turn?" She turned to me, her eyes narrowing. "Do you know who I am?" she asked, her tone dripping with disdain. "I'm afraid I don't," I replied calmly. "But we have a policy here that all customers are treated equally." "I'm sure you understand." She scoffed, looking me up and down. "I could buy this whole store," she sneered. "Step aside." I maintained my composure. "I'm sorry, but I must insist that you wait your turn like everyone else." Her face flushed with anger. "This is unacceptable. I demand to speak to the owner." I offered a polite smile. "You're speaking to her." For a moment, she was speechless, her mouth opening and closing as she processed my words. Then, with a huff, she turned on her heel and stormed out of the boutique, her assistant scrambling to keep up. The other customers watched in stunned silence. One of them, an older woman who had been waiting patiently, approached me. "Good for you," she said with a nod of approval. "It's refreshing to see someone stand up to that kind of behavior." "Thank you," I replied, feeling a sense of validation. "We value all our customers and believe everyone deserves respect." The incident left a lasting impression on me. In the days that followed, I learned that the woman was indeed married to a billionaire, a prominent figure in the city's elite circles. Her sense of entitlement had been well documented in various social settings. Determined to uphold the values of my boutique, I made the decision to ban her from all our branches worldwide. A letter was sent to her residence, outlining the reasons for the ban and emphasizing our commitment to treating all customers with dignity and respect. The story gained traction in local media, sparking discussions about privilege and the importance of humility. Many customers expressed their support, appreciating the boutique's stance on equality and fairness. In the end, the incident reinforced my belief that no amount of wealth or status grants someone the right to belittle others. Respect is a two-way street, and in my boutique, it's a non-negotiable standard. A week after the incident, things felt back to normal. At least on the surface. Business was steady, the usual faces came and went, and most people in the neighborhood had heard some version of what happened. A few regulars gave me little nods of respect when they came in. One woman even brought me flowers. Said I did what most wouldn't. Then one afternoon, our intern came running into the back room, her face pale. She handed me her phone, shaking. "You need to see this." It was a viral video. Footage from inside my boutique, me confronting that woman, her screaming, the whole scene. Someone had filmed the entire interaction and uploaded it online. The title, "When Rich Doesn't Buy You Class, Epic Boutique Smackdown." The video had exploded. Comments were pouring in. Most supported me, but some weren't so nice. There were accusations that I'd humiliated her. Others speculated that I'd staged it for publicity. A few even accused me of being jealous of the rich. Then it got worse. I started getting fake one-star reviews on every location of my boutique across the country. We had stores in LA, Miami, Chicago. Suddenly all were flooded. Comments like, "Staff is rude," "Owner is classless," and even one that said, "I was denied service because I wasn't fancy enough." I had my manager in LA call me at 6 a.m. She sounded panicked. "We just lost 2 big clients," she said. They said they saw something online. I barely slept that night. The next morning, I came into the boutique early to find a man waiting outside. Suit, sunglasses, looked like someone straight out of a courtroom drama. He introduced himself as a representative for the woman. Didn't even say her name. Just said, "My client." He handed me a folder. Cease and desist. Apparently, she was claiming defamation. That I had hurt her reputation. That the video had caused emotional distress. I tried not to laugh. She caused a scene in my store. She skipped the line. She screamed at me. He didn't smile. "You allowed the video to remain online. That's your platform. That's your responsibility." I told him I had nothing to do with the video. But I knew how this worked. They weren't trying to win anything in court. They just wanted to rattle me. And it was working. My phone was buzzing nonstop. Media requests. Online hate. My staff asking if they should be worried. One of my oldest employees pulled me aside and said, "You sure this is worth it?" Then I got the call. An old investor. He'd helped me open my second location 5 years ago. "You're making a lot of noise," he said. "Good for business, maybe. But bad for people like me." What does that mean? It means some of my partners are concerned. They don't like drama. They like quiet success. "I didn't ask for this," I told him. "Doesn't matter. You're in it now." That night, I sat alone in my apartment with a bottle of red wine and my laptop. I read every article, every comment. My inbox had over 300 messages. Some from women saying I inspired them. Some from trolls calling me a fraud. And one from a woman named Marla, subject line, "She's done this before." I opened it. Marla said she used to manage a small gallery in Soho. The same woman had come in, caused a scene, belittled her staff, then threatened to sue when Marla asked her to leave. The gallery ended up settling out of court just to make her go away. "She picks small businesses," Marla wrote. "She targets women. Then she plays the victim. Don't back down. Please." I sat there, my hands cold, the wine untouched. I stared at the message for a long time. Then my door buzzer rang. When I answered, no one was there. Just an envelope, taped to the door. Inside, a photo of me walking to work. A note typed in all caps, "Close the store. Or it gets worse." I didn't sleep at all that night. I left the lights on and sat on my couch with my dog curled next to me, holding the photo and that typed-out thread in my lap. I live in a secure building. A doorman. Cameras. Someone still got that envelope to my door. No knock. No sign-in. Just a message. "Close the store. Or it gets worse." I reported it to the police the next morning. They were polite, but not exactly hopeful. "Probably some internet troll," one of them said. "These things usually don't lead anywhere." They said they'd check the building security footage, but I could already see it in their eyes. This wasn't going anywhere fast. I took the photo, the note, and made copies. Sent one to my lawyer. Sent another to my store managers. "Be alert," I texted them. "Let me know if anyone suspicious shows up." By the end of the week, 2 more things happened. First, a woman pretending to be a customer came into our LA store and accidentally spilled coffee all over our seasonal couture display. $15,000 worth of damage. Second, a major influencer posted a rant on Instagram, calling me toxic, saying I shamed a woman for being rich. Her video got 1 million views in a day. I checked her profile. She followed that same billionaire's wife. They had photos together in the Hamptons. This wasn't random anymore. This was coordinated. I started digging. Quietly. Through back channels. PR friends. Ex-staff of influencers. Gossip accounts. I didn't post anything about it, I just listened. That's when I learned something new. Something that made my stomach turn. This woman, let's call her Talia, wasn't just a billionaire's wife. She ran a silent investment group. A group that had stakes in dozens of lifestyle brands, boutiques, salons, jewelry startups. And one of the companies she backed? A competitor of mine. One that had just opened locations in the exact same cities as my own. Chicago, Miami, LA, even a new one 2 blocks from my flagship store in Manhattan. The pieces started falling into place fast. This wasn't just about some rich woman throwing a tantrum. This was a takedown. A campaign. Make me look unstable. Drama-driven. Unprofessional. Get influencers to smear me. Get inside our stores, cause damage, rattle the staff. Leak to media that we were in decline. All while quietly growing a competitor business right under us. It was personal. But it was also business. I was angry. Not afraid. Not yet. But the next blow hit close. My CFO called me late Sunday. You need to check the books. There were irregularities. Wire transfers we didn't authorize. Refunds issued to fake customers. Small at first, $300 here, $500 there. Then bigger. Someone was siphoning money from inside. I narrowed it down to one of our tech contractors. A guy who managed our point-of-sale systems. And guess what? He used to work for the competitor. Quietly left 6 months ago. They probably paid him more to leave us a gift. That same night, someone posted my home address online. I had to leave my apartment. I packed a duffel and moved into a friend's place across town. Turned off location sharing on every device. I wanted to go public. Post everything. Tell the world what she was doing. But my lawyer said no. Not yet, he said. Let her get comfortable. Let her think you're losing. So I played along. Went quiet. No media comments. No reactive posts. Let them think the smear was working. Meanwhile, I started building something new. Behind the scenes. I pulled my most loyal staff into a group chat. Called it Project Mirror. We began gathering receipts. Not just from my own experience, but from Marla, from other boutique owners, from employees who had NDAs but were willing to talk off record. All with similar stories. Harassment. Threats. Financial sabotage. Influencer manipulation. One name kept coming up, Talia's personal assistant. The one who followed her around that first day. Apparently, he did all the dirty work. Filed fake complaints. Hired actors to pose as customers. Even had a burner Instagram account where he trolled store pages. And then, out of nowhere, he messaged me. A simple DM. I'm done covering for her. I stared at the DM. It came from a burner account, but I knew it was him. The assistant. Talia's right hand. The guy who'd been quiet the whole time. All it said was, I'm done covering for her. I didn't respond right away. I took screenshots, backed them up in 3 places, and waited. 2 hours later, he sent another message. She used me. I know everything. I'll talk. We arranged to meet in a public place, inside a busy cafe across the street from one of my stores. I didn't go alone. I brought a friend who works in corporate risk. She sat at a separate table, recording everything. He showed up looking nothing like the polished, silent guy from that day in my boutique. His hair was messy, dark circles under his eyes. He looked scared, but determined. And then he talked. He told me everything. Talia had planned the whole thing after her first visit to my boutique. She was already funding my competitor behind the scenes. That day, she came in to stir up a scene. She expected me to bow, panic, or offer her VIP access. When I didn't, when I shut her down publicly, she lost it. That moment went viral without her consent. It bruised her ego. But she spun it into something more, a reason to destroy me. She paid influencers to post hate. Sent fake customers to trash the stores. Paid off one of my accountants to manipulate the books. Even got lawyers involved to scare me into silence. The guy in front of me had been her attack dog, doing the dirty work, covering the digital tracks. I thought I was helping her build something big, he said. But she's not building anything. She's just obsessed with control. You made her look weak. She never forgave that. He gave me everything. Emails, payment receipts, voice memos. It was gold. And I used every ounce of it. With my lawyer, we compiled a detailed dossier. Sent it to the authorities. But I didn't stop there. I sent it to every media outlet that had covered the original story. This time with proof. Not just about what she did to me, but what she'd done to others. Other women-owned businesses. Smaller brands she crushed for sport. Gallery owners. Designers. One even had to file for bankruptcy. People started talking. And then screaming. The same influencers she paid to trash me? They panicked. Started deleting posts, backtracking, pretending they never got paid. One actually posted an apology video, crying into her phone, blaming bad advice. My competitor? Their sales tanked within a week. Customers started boycotting. Their Yelp and Google pages exploded with comments demanding accountability. And since their silent investor was now exposed, other partners started pulling out. Talia? She disappeared for a few days. Then TMZ caught her at a private airport, screaming at someone. The video went viral. Again. This time, there was no sympathy. 3 days later, her husband, yes, the actual billionaire, filed for divorce. Turns out he'd had enough too. Sources said he'd been embarrassed by her for years. But this public collapse? The lies, the lawsuits, the scandal? That was the final straw. Her accounts were frozen during investigation. Her properties listed under the silent fund got seized. One by one, her world cracked. But here's the thing, while all this happened, I made a mistake too. I let the drama consume me. I stopped sleeping. I snapped at my staff. I lost trust in people who didn't deserve it. I even almost sold part of my company just to escape the pressure. And I lost a friend. My longtime store manager in Chicago, she quit. Said I'd changed. Said the fight had made me cold. She wasn't wrong. I hated hearing it, but she was right. I let revenge drive me too hard. Too far. So once the dust settled, I took a break. I handed off operations to my team, got therapy, took walks without checking my phone. It took time, but I started feeling like myself again. And the business? It's stronger than ever. We got an outpouring of support. Sales bounced back. Investors doubled down. And most important, our community, the people who believed in us from the start, stayed loyal. But I never saw her again. Last I heard, Talia was trying to start over in another country. Low profile. Burned a lot of bridges here. She told me, that day, she could buy my whole store. In the end, she couldn't even buy silence. And me? I kept my store, my values, my name. And I made damn sure everyone in the industry knew, you don't get to stomp over people without consequences. Not anymore.